Say what needs to be said. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mr. Pick Six. Sante Samuel Senior. We in the building tonight, man. Free agency is underway out here, and NFL teams are scrambling to land that player or put a team together that can do what the Eagles did. And speaking of the Eagles, what are we doing in free agency? A little mute. The Super Bowl champs, man. But I think the Super Bowl champs are making all the right moves. And yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit. We're going to talk about Le'Veon Bell, CJ Gardner, and the Eagles. You know what I mean? It's going to be a pretty quick show tonight. We're going to have some fun. And everybody wondering where Asante Samuel Jr. will land. And where will he be at? You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about the Bills and the Eagles are in the bidding war. And of course, me being a senior, of course, I know the ins and outs, the behind the scenes, what's going on. But of course, I can't spill the beans. So everybody stay tuned, man. And we got to see where the junior lands and where everybody else lands, man. Let's get into the show tonight, man. I hope y'all turned up, have some fun. And yeah, man, this guy, man. This guy right here, this guy. Him. Le'Veon Bell, man. Le'Veon Bell has some serious allegations against him. If y'all haven't heard already, this says right here that he denies rape allegations or are allegations in a $25 million payout. He doesn't have a payout. He didn't pay out $25 million, of course, but he has a judgment against him for $20+ million, I think. And yeah, but in all reality, this is turning out to be one of the saddest situations, saddest stories in football. I can't remember too many more situations that is sadder than the guy Le'Veon Bell. There are some backstories to plenty more situations he has gotten into besides this, but this fool just continues to pop up in the freaking news for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Just crazy. A woman said she was repeatedly sexually taken advantage of as a child by two relatives, one of whom was a 3-time Pro Bowl selection in the NFL, is owed more than $36 million in damages, a Franklin County jury determined. The jury determined following a damages hearing on February 26 that the woman whom the dispatch is not naming is entitled to $20 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages from 33-year-old NFL ex-player Le'Veon Bell Sr. and more than $11 million in damages from the brother, 30-year-old Levante Bell. Wow, I didn't know his brother was including this. This is getting more wild as we. All this is allegedly, of course. This is allegedly, but this is getting more wild as we cover up things, man. I guess the other person was his brother, but they said it was a friend who came in town. I'm kind of confused. The dispatch the dispatch made multiple efforts to reach out to the brothers. Phone numbers for the brothers were disconnected, and no attorney had filed to represent the brothers in court case whom the dispatch could reach out for comment. So the brothers are going through it. Le'Veon Bell and his brother. Now, when I say this is definition of taking life from sugar to SHIT, when I say this is the definition of that, taking life from sugar to, you know what I mean? I mean that literally. Le'Veon Bell, man. Le'Veon Bell, at one point in his career, homie was considered the best running back in NFL. You know what I mean? And exactly when all that success started to hit and he became that successful, he started letting it get the fame and the notoriety and all those things get to his head. You understand what I'm saying? And it all started when homeboy decided that he was going to hold out. If y'all don't remember, he held out when he was playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There was some negotiations going on that they couldn't come to a conclusion about. So Le'Veon Bell decided to hold out. And this wasn't no typical holdout. He held out for a year and missed out on millions of dollars, right? All because he didn't want to sign the franchise tag for $14.5 million. Le'Veon Bell, I think he was franchised the year before that. He wanted out of Pittsburgh. He wanted a big contract. So he said he is going to miss the entire 2018 season and hold out. And you know, it's a deadline when you can come in and sign your franchise tag. I think it's like, week 10, week 11, just so you can be a free agent the following season and still collect some money. Homeboy still didn't do that. He decided not to sign the franchise tag at all and missed out on all that money. So he missed out on the 2018 season. And right after that, the 2019 season, I think he signed a 4-year, $52 million deal with the Jets, which he played not even 2 seasons under that contract because, he wasn't the same after he left Pittsburgh. Then he bounced around, of course, after he realized how he screwed up. And he admits to regretting on holding out in Pittsburgh. And we're going to get into that. Now you see him trying to act like AB and be a nuisance to society, acting dumb and dumber. You know what I mean? Dumb decision after dumb decision from Le'Veon Bell. And it's just crazy, man, because we have life in the palm of our hands when we make it to the NFL and make it to that next contract. That next contract is literally like the lottery, going out there playing the state lottery, the Mega Millions, Powerball, whatever. You know what I mean? Now these are some crazy allegations against him. I can't lie. Now. It led to a $20+ million judgment, allegedly with his brother too. Now it's two sides. We're gonna get into what I see in the problem with the lawsuit, right? Now it's one thing to go to court and lose a fair and square battle with someone. You know what I mean? Y'all going to court, y'all duking it out for whatever reason. But it is foolish. It is straight foolish to go in straight crash out mode, and not even respond to the lawsuit and get hit with a $20+ million judgment. That is exactly what Le'Veon Bell did. He did not respond to the allegations in the lawsuit from someone that was unknown, a Jane Doe. And that's the worst thing. I covered that before, and I talked about this before. You have to respond to these lawsuits that, whether they're lying or whether they're truthful or not, man, you get hit with a judgment. You know what I mean? And to make matters worse, man, Le'Veon, he got 7 or 8 kids that he got to take care of. You know what I mean? I can remember Le'Veon Bell, baby mama's, what that was, on an Instagram rant a couple years ago, talking about how Le'Veon Bell is the worst human being on the planet. And I know baby mamas are typically mad and want revenge, but I'm sure she went off on him for reasons of have to do or involving the child or children that they have together. You know what I mean? But with a $25 or $20+ million judgment against him, you, whoever, it's not much you can do out here with the credit, you know what I mean, to help live a cool life, man. And instead, he trying to be a crazy man out here with AB, you know what I mean? But let's listen to what Le'Veon Bell had to say with these crazy allegations going on. Let's check it out.
As soon as Steelers started running back Le'Veon Bell, her cousin, alleged he raped her for a decade, starting at 6. A jury awarded her $25 million after Le'Veon didn't respond in court. I don't even know which one what part I should attack first. Let's just start from the top. When she's suing me, her cousin suing me, and my cousin suing me. Now the not responding in court thing, for one, chat, let me be 100%, 1,000% honest with y'all. But I just found out this was brewing up maybe about 2 days ago. Somebody, it was like TMZ or one of these report outlets, they had hit me up on Twitter. It was like, no. Somebody from TMZ hit my phone. They texted my phone. I don't even know how they got my number, but TMZ, they got my number. Lady, we need to talk to you about a story that's brewing, we want to get your side of it. The first text, I ignored, because I'm like, what are you talking about? don't even know what the hell you talking about. Ignore. Then like a day later, it was like, hey, we releasing the story tomorrow. Even though they didn't release the story tomorrow, but we're releasing the story tomorrow. Do you have a lawyer or attorney that we can talk to? I'm like, oh yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't reached out to them. I said, what you need? You know what I'm saying? So I just had my lawyer call the number. Then I get the news like, oh yeah, your cousin is suing you for, you know, sexual assault and this, that, and the third. I said, what? Yeah, bro. Yeah, she's suing you for sexual assault, and she said you've been raping her and this, that, and the third. The same cousin that was at all my football games. Bro, do y'all think, Le'Veon Bell, me, myself, do I need to force myself upon a woman? Anybody? Do I need to force myself upon them? I don't. I don't. It's like, if you're not trying to like, if you ain't down for this, if you ain't down to like really get the nitty gritty going, best believe somebody else is. Hey, chat, look, I promise y'all, and I put this on my life. Put this on my life. I put this on all my kids' life, on my mom's life. I put this on everything. I've never, ever, 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 ever pushed myself on a girl when she ain't want that. Never. I ain't never forced myself on nobody. Ever. I got my pick of the litter. Like, I'm not even trying to say that to flex, bro. It's just real, that's just real life. So I have to force myself and let alone my cousin. Bro. That's like, bro, stop this. Like, stop this. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Like, stop this. Right now, stop it, bro. Stop it. Please, chat, just stop that. Like, bro, let alone my cousin.
Bruh, I don't know how y'all feel about that, man, but things can get a little tricky when dealing with people. Family members, an ex-girlfriend, a friend, you know what I mean? It get a little tricky when you're dealing with people that are vindictive and hurt because you won't do what they want you to do for them no more. And of course, he could be telling the truth, or he could be trying to build a defense. I don't know. He's a little animated in his responses and him pleading his case and saying he never pushed himself up on nobody and all that, you know what I mean? And I know people lie for monetary gains, but to try to deceive the courts is wild, man. I always thought, how could someone take it that far, like all the way to the courts, file police reports and so on and so forth? Like, that is very diabolical to take it to that far, to that extent, and you know it's a lie. You know what I mean? And I definitely hope this isn't true. And whoever is telling the truth, I hope they get this settled for what it's worth. You know what I mean? And justice served and things like that. But you know, it's obviously documented and out here that from the Jane Doe and Le'Veon Bell, that these two people know each other. It was allegedly that it might be a family member, you know what I mean? And he provided for this person, did for them, invited them out to games, paid for their way and so on and so forth. And as soon as he decided to say no, he claims this is when all this nonsense allegations came about. But the main point of this whole segment is, bro, you had to know there was a lawsuit filed. They have to serve you. Something had to transpire. You just didn't pop up and TMC decided to call you and you say, listen, man, I don't really know what's going on, but X, Y, and Z. At the least, that's going to make you get on the horn and start figuring things out. But I doubted that was, the first time he heard about it. And, if y'all haven't heard, sometimes us football players, after football, life isn't as good as it used to be, and we trying to find our way. And I think the brother's going through some of that, and you know what I mean? But it's crazy because homeboy want to act foolish, be a Trump supporter. And if you want to support Trump, then that's whatever. But to be out here like you throwing it in our face and act like you supporting him for a good cause, it's just another thing. You know what I mean? So let me see what y'all think about this Le'Veon Bell situation in the comments. And football players and people in general just trying to take advantage of other people, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, these people are crazy out here. Shout out to the chat, man. Johnny Smith, T Dub, what they do? Cool guy 128. What it do? What it do, man? Let's get into some Eagles, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champs. You know, the Super Bowl champs are clearing house, man. Super Bowl champs are clearing house. But why? Why is all of a sudden this movement is happening from the Eagles after such a successful season? Why? You know, when they released Big Pay Slay, I was a little confused because you just won. The defense was stellar, out there playing lights out. But then again, I realized they had just released him. I think it was a season ago, but they elected to re-sign him right after they released him. They got it worked out, and everybody was kind of hoping that happened this time. Now they trade C.J. Gardner. You know what I mean? C.J. Gardner. And it's crazy how two players that were in the media for their controversial remarks on the Eagles team have been let go or traded from the Eagles team. And I think that says a lot about how things were in the height of the disagreements and the problems going on with the team and the players. And I talked to C.J. Gardner when things wasn't going so good, and I could tell you there was some internal beef going on, and it was for real. And of course, I wouldn't tell y'all what we talked about, but I was giving my, my big brother love, my uncles, whatever you want to call it, big homie status, whatever. I was trying to give my opinion and how things, what they can try to do to work things out, And I think we talked right before the Eagles was about to head out to play that football game in Brazil. And then you have all the negative talk about A.J. Brown, But I think Howie Roseman, I always talk about Howie. I've been talking about Howie these last couple segments. Howie Roseman, Howie was forced to make a decision to make sure he keeps everything cool with this team in the locker room because of how last season was transpiring. And even though it led to the Super Bowl, things get a little shaky. You don't know the whole circumstances of whatever was going on. And then you let me tell, in Philly, they were always in Philly. Let me tell it. In Philly, they will always give the offensive player the benefit of a doubt over a defensive player when there are issues or something, and it comes down to what player we're going to keep on the team. You know what I mean? So an offensive player is going to always win over a defensive player, and I'm saying that because Big Play Slay and C.J. Gardner was traded, and A.J. Brown's still there. Whatever, you know what I mean? They all had a lot of controversial remarks and things going on in the media. We don't know if it's true. We just hearing from the outside looking in. But you do see how Howie made a trade for offensive lineman when he traded C.J. Gardner to the Houston Texans, building depth and making sure the team is physical at all times. That was an offensive lineman. Now they just signed another running back, a big, bruising running back, A.J. Dillon. These are signs of making sure this team is physical as possible. And then we get to the money situations, with they just made a big they just paid a player a lot of money that came unexpectedly. You know what I mean? They had to reward this player because this player just carried this team on their back to the Super Bowl, and that's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's new contract and future earnings unexpectedly jams up the cap. You know what I mean? No one expected him to have to get or be rewarded such a hefty contract so fast. And yes, it's definitely rewarded. And he earned all of that. You know what I mean? Then you got Josh Sweat. He headed out, you know what I mean? Hit the free agent market. But the Eagles will be definitely a better team. You know what I mean? But let's check out C.J. Gardner and see what he had to say about the Eagles because, that says a lot, the Eagles. And we're going to listen to him respond because no ill will. He understands the game is part of the business. You know what I mean?
Bro, listen, I
It was a great phone call. Great phone call. It was an amazing phone call to be all the way thorough. Great phone call. Situation is them young guys got to get paid in Philly. Jalen Carter, Reed, Zach, all them guys gotta get their money. They deserve it. You know, me getting older, so I gotta understand. Like, it was no bad blood. It was nothing. So, you know, shit. All I asked them was like, between me and y'all, like I told them, I just want to go somewhere where I could play winning football. I ain't asked for a specific place. I just, feel me? This honesty. Like, I just want to play winning football. Like, I ain't even saying a lot. Other than that, you know, I woke up next day and boom, there it is. So shit, we in Houston.
Then we got some other things and from some articles I had researched about CJ Gardner and just things that's going on. And we're gonna read what it's saying. We're gonna react to a few things. But CJ Gardner, he said it's no bad blood with the team with Howie. It's all love. He was just surprised. When you get traded, it's no special way you learn you get traded. You understand what I'm saying? There is no blueprint to how you approach somebody. However you get a call, however you find out through the media, it's going to be surprising. And especially when you have so much success, it's going to hit you very surprisingly because you're going to be like, what you mean? We just won. I just balled out. What do you mean you're trading me? I don't understand that. But you got numbers, you got cap numbers, you got contracts, you got people that are allowed a big bonus coming up. And, they got to handle things accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? But CJ Gardner says it was an amazing phone call to be all the way through thorough, right? The situation is them young guys got to get paid and fitted. Like I said, Saquon Barkley and whoever else is coming on. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter, safety Reed, Blankenship, and linebacker Zach Bond. Me getting older, understand. He understands. There was no bad blood. All I asked him to do, like between me and y'all, I told them, I just want to go somewhere where I can go play winning football. I didn't ask for a specific place. I want to play winning football. I woke up the next day and boom, there it is. He is in Houston. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Shout out to CJ Gardner. He got where he wanted to be. You know what I mean? He got where he wanted to be. A lot of free agents going out here, man, and I know everybody eager to see what Sante Samuel Jr. is going to sign. He's one of the top free agents left, and it's gonna come down to the wire. Then we got the Aaron Rodgers situation, right? We got Aaron Rodgers, man. Should he hang it up, or will he make a difference in Pittsburgh? Will he go over there with his sassy ways and entitlement and thinking he runs the thing? He's thinking he's still Aaron Rodgers MVP, 2-time, 3-time MVP. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think Aaron Rodgers can do better than what Justin Fields and Russell Wilson did, but he just doesn't have it in him anymore mentally. When you mentally checked out, it's hard. It's not too much you can do. Mentally checked out, it's over with. You know what I mean? But yeah, say what needs to be said. We on a Wednesday, man. We turned up. Before we check out, man, let me read a few comments, man. I see T-Dub in the building. You know what I mean? T-Dub say I'm a Cowboys fan, but CJ always been class personified. Been class personified. I could tell that by how he handled that situation with the clown. Mekhi Parsons. Yeah, man. CJ Gardner, man. He's a character in itself. He's a Florida boy, and we all know us Florida boys. We talk that shit, man. CJ Gardner is one of those hefty, big time shit talkers. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's his personality. I wish he would tone it down a little bit. He'd be wilding, man. He'd be wilding, but that's his thing. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all let me know what we're gonna talk and chat about next. I'm gonna start breaking down the draft. I'm gonna start breaking down the top receivers, top cornerbacks. Then we're gonna get into some team football. Who can potentially or who gonna make the biggest impact this offseason with free agency and the draft coming up. You know what I mean? Yeah, say what needs to be said is Mr. Pick Six, you know what I mean? 50 interceptions. They're gonna put me in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? We all know this highway robbery, what they doing to you, boy. But they gonna get this right. And when they get it right, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have a good time. And that's what it is, man. Say what needs to be said is Mr. Pick Six. I'm out, baby.